Alright, everyone, Supreme Kami over here. So, Thursday night, they obviously dropped some news for us over here. So, it looks like that next week is going to be the version 3.3. So, there's probably not going to be any content for that Tuesday night. So, I don't know. I'll see if I can wake up early to record for you guys. If not, I'll definitely record, afterwards, after work, obviously. So, yeah. In terms of the version 3.3, I actually did take a look at it myself, and it's not, just from the glance of it, it's not looking like they're packing a lot of like new content. I think the biggest one that they're pushing is definitely, you can see the custom mission, the custom made mission over here. I'll definitely cover it in more details, the pictures on their official website. And then last but not least, we do have the attribute gears that I'll talk to you guys about in a later video, obviously. So I think the biggest thing that I can kind of dig up from here is definitely going to be some of the refinement that they're adjusting. That is definitely going to be some good quality update that we kind of needed. So yeah, that would be pretty much it. So it's going to be, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like another maybe 6 to 8 hours long maintenance for say. So yeah, all right, so besides that, so we got some standard, not really that important, and then we have some, so in regard to next week's arena, there's not going to be any arena because of the new update, so that's gonna be good. Oh my gosh, I can finally rest. Whew, that's actually gonna be good because arena can be a little bit, I don't know, like I enjoy arena to the extent that it's challenging, it's competitive, so having a week rest is actually kind of like, what do I do in game, you know what I mean. So yeah, so that is going to be in that respect. So we do have another new banner today. So every time when they drop the ultra banner, it seems that they want to drop a competitive, like a comparison banner you can kind of look at over here. So this one's going to be a all 6-star parts guarantee step up capsule over here, and I'm just gonna say it, they're not dropping out badges on this banner, so no go for sure. No matter how valued this banner is, I think an L bash is at the end of the day, I think it's worth it in a way, I guess, just because getting L badges are just something that is a really scarce, scarce item. So yeah, so let's actually take a look at the overall banner, and if you guys are summoning on the ultra banner, which I do highly suggest you guys to go for it. I think if you guys are saving up at least like 4,500, I don't think it's a bad idea to just kind of hop in and summon for it. So let's talk about some banners that you don't want to summon up for this week per se. This one is definitely going to be the hot skip, the V2 Buster form. I think if you personally do like it, I would highly suggest you guys wait for a month because it will be able to be exchanged within the pick, like the 4-star pick tickets. So you no need to summon for it. So AI pilot definitely not something I would summon for because same thing, you can pick it up with like the monthly fragment as well, so why go for them. Other than that, this banner is going to be another hot skill for sure because this is more of like an emergency banner when you needed some material A. So I think this is definitely one of those banners that is reserved for that. So yeah, all right, so this one, the Sata Gundam, I only summon for it because I needed new parts for the weekly multiplier, but other than that, probably not the best banner to summon on either. I mean, this one you can say is good because at the end of the day, you are going to be guaranteed a part. So depending on how much you like the Sata or how much you want the newest part, maybe you can go for this one. But I will have to say, going for this one, the exclusive pickup parts at both sides is probably the best one. So let's kind of break it down a little bit over here for you guys. So in terms of drop rate, I don't think it's the best drop rate possible compared to the newest one that we have gotten today, because I think starting out, this one is step 1 is only 5%, while this one is starting out is, what are we looking at? So let's actually, okay, so this one is 16%, so pretty much comparable to that. So all right, I'm just gonna talk about this one first. Okay, in terms of this banner, you guys will notice that they have included some freebie. Most step up usually does. So in terms of freebie, right? If we take a look at step 3, starting step 3, you guarantee an L badge. So with that L badge right there, you can kind of exchange for one specific one that you want for your parts. So let's say you have some 40% trade parts that you don't have average for. I think getting those getting those out badge for those is going to be really good because getting a double 40% trade is definitely something you cannot really resist. It's going to provide you a lot of power, just all around really good. And then if you go up to step 4, step 4 is going to allow you to get an exclusive parts exchange ticket right there. So that's why this banner with a cost of 4,500, you can get all these items over here. So this one is 1,500, 3,000, and then this one right now you're up to 3,750, and then up to this one you're 4,500. So this one is probably the better option. But if you have a little bit more horse in your pocket, for say, you can go up to, let's say, step 5, step 6, step 7, and pretty much the same thing. And then if you complete step 8 and 9, pretty much gonna grant you the exact same thing. While once you get up to step 9, you will be able to get 2 right here instead of just 1. So I think overall, I think you are looking at 15,000 hardships. Is it, or 12,000? I think this one is actually 12,000 and 15,000. So yeah, I mean, if you just stop at step 4, that is completely good already. But the L badges are probably one of the most valued item that people are seeing like as a really rare item. So something for that banner is extremely valued. In terms of this one, I must say the overall rate for this one may be a little bit better. I didn't even take a look at that banner's rate. What? What am I doing? Alright, so let's actually take a look at the prime pool, because we want to see how many, like what is the highest rate we can be looking at. So this one overall, starting out at 16. So do keep that in mind. In terms of the prime or the bonus pool, is that one singular part that can be 16% 6-star parts. So keep that in mind. So this one's gonna be like regular parts, gonna be 9%. So your regular slot is gonna be a 5%. This one of your slot is gonna be at least 16%. So this one you are looking at what, 71. All right, 71, 16, 71, 100, and 100. So I mean, this banner does offer you the better rate, but the bad part is you're not getting L badges. Like, that's probably the hottest topic to talk about, right? No L badges, that means your part is gonna sit there and look pretty ugly. You're not getting that secondary portrait. Your EXQ is not getting that next level up, or maybe some, from A power to S power and etc. Right? So yeah, this is probably not the banner to kind of go for. And I think overall, in terms of the freebie that this one is giving, it does incentivize you to kind of go beyond, like kind of complete those steps, because this one also is going to be dropping an SP tickets where I believe if you collect all 5 of them. So step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this one's like giving it 7. So upon completing step 7, you'll be able to get your tickets. So this one does want you to go all in, which is going to be obviously expensive. So that's why this banner is, at the end of the day, still a lot more better. So in terms of, let me do kind of quickly talk about some parts that you guys should be targeting. I'm simply going to be offering you guys the good part trait and maybe some EXQ that I can kind of spot. In terms of what kind of aesthetic parts that I'm not going to suggest any of those, because those are purely going to be based on what your preferences. So yeah, let's kind of get started over here. So it's going to be under the capsule freebie over here. So it's going to be these two over here. This one's going to allow you to exchange for some L badges over here. So in terms of the Bachelor suit, I highly suggest you guys don't go for them, because we literally get the free-to-play version of it. So don't go for them. But if you guys still want the powerful version of them, you can kind of go for it. But other than that, they are completely a hot skip. So in terms of what they have up to, they actually have up to what? Let me see. What is this one? This one is Command Quanta, and this one is the Barbatoros. Okay, so we actually do have up to Wing Zero already, the TV version. So that's actually pretty good. So in terms of some part that you guys may want, so let's kind of start things off with melee or melee version. So melee, alright. So in terms of what kind of part you want to be targeting specifically, should be anywhere within a 7-star part. So basically pick something that is within, like right here, the Hakashiki Kai, all the way up to here. So those are probably the preliminary like section you want to be looking at. Basically all these are just 6-star parts without the 7-star rarity, so don't go with them at this point in time. So let's kind of start things out with melee. There's just not too much selection like on this roster, because melee unit actually comes out like if you're talking about more melee unit, they actually come out like a little bit later. So if the roster you're looking at right now are not too intriguing for you, you might not even summon it off. So it just really depends what you are looking for in terms of like just just the part that will allow you to hit harder and provide supports and all that, right? So for melee, we're gonna take a look at Cold Sora. I think for Cold Sora, the Beam Saber was probably the best thing to be looking at. Yeah. So the Beam Saber upon alteration is going to offer another set of 25% and max out at 40%. So this is probably the one you want to go for in terms of the melee weaponry, because melee weaponry is going to offer you the highest, melee attack. So this is definitely something to go for. In terms of arm, I don't believe anywhere within this roster has any good, let's say 40% trade arm, because that's actually gonna come out a little bit later. That we just had that actually last week. Last week we had the 2.5 year anniversary banner, which we got the XM Riser, as well as the the Astronaut Origin. So those are going to be like the better melee unit that you can talk about. But upon this roster, there's not going to be any good 40% trade arm as a 7-star ready, so you can just kind of skip that part. In terms of some other melee unit you can be looking at, maybe the escape or the Eclipse over here. I say escape. In terms of the Eclipse, maybe the Beam Rifle, because this one is going to be offering you another set of 40% trait. So upon alteration, you're going to get another set of 40% trait. So you cannot really go wrong with that. Good word tag as well, so not much to complain about that. Another one that I would like to recommend to you guys is actually going to be the Barbator. There's actually going to be two parts I'm actually going to recommend. The torso for sure is going to be a 40% trait, so not much problem right there. In terms of the leg, I personally do like the leg because it's offering the Bubby X effects, which is something we don't really see in terms of leg port. So this is definitely one of the really good investments you're looking at. But you guys don't like that one, that's totally fine. Maybe the backpack as well, if you guys are planning to work on some initial let's say cooldown reduction type build. This is definitely something you can get started. This one is already starting out at 10%, so you guys are pretty much set to go, because this one at max out does give you all the way up to 23%. In terms of the investment timeline, it's going to be extremely long, just because these are like the exclusive part. So putting onto the growth hanger, getting those part trade nippers can get them up a little bit faster. But with time, dude, just focus on one part that give you these, and you guys should be good to go. So that is going to be pretty much it. There's obviously some more gimmicky stuff that you can be looking at. Maybe the Eclipse over here, the Beam Saber. This one is definitely one of the more controversial part trade to be looking at, because this one is gonna literally screw up everyone, like people in terms of arena, like let's say in the League 3 and 3 arena, because this one is literally gonna increase their cooldown by 15%. So if you are running like a flat out 100% cooldown reduction build, adding you're gonna add 15% to the cooldown, so they're basically at 85%. So this one is gonna screw them up. So this is definitely one part that you can go in as a tactic build. So yeah. But other than that, I don't purposely suggest running this, because I wouldn't want to screw up someone's day by running this over here. So that's just me. If you guys are someone that want to go for that tactical route, this one is definitely something you can kind of go for. So yeah. In terms of shooting build, we actually do have quite a lot over here, so we can actually start things out with probably a good selection. So we're gonna start things out with the Hakashiki. So Hakashiki advantage is having Commander. So Commander is probably one of the next to Ace exclusive, one of the word tag you want to be running at. So maybe go for the torso is not going to be a bad option. Commander high firepower, so you can't really go wrong with that. So this one is going to be 25%, and then upon alteration you do get another set of 25%, so can't go wrong with that. Other than that, you can go for the Beam Saber. I believe not the Beam Saber. Let me see. I believe it's a Beam Rifle. The Beam Rifle actually does provide you some, initial charge, not initial charge, excuse me, EXQ cooldown reduced with there. So this is going to be another part you can be working towards on if you guys are planning to go with these types of build. So this one is going to be locking you down to P attribute, which is, I think, for P attribute, we already do have a fairly good foundation. So adding on this one literally replaces the Austria F-types hand launcher. So I think this one is probably the better option, because this one does give you a little bit more output. So if you are running like a shot variant of a cooldown reduction type build, this is going to be a very good item to be running. So yeah, that is going to be pretty much it. So we're talking about some other ones on the roster. I think second B is definitely a top tier option. So I'm gonna be offering two different types of complementary ones we're looking at. So obviously in an overall build, you do want some initial charge boosting. So I think the beam rifle is definitely not a bad option, because the beam rifle actually does offer you a 25% initial charge boosting upon alteration. So that is definitely something good. Obviously right now prior to alteration you're not receiving that, but after alteration you are going to be getting that. The head part is also going to be very good as well. This one is going to be offering you that 40% double, upon alteration. But I think the only side that's I can say the downside to this one is actually locking you down to like a beam rifle. So in a situation where you want to use the wing zeros, all the variant of the wing zeros are rolling buster, because that one is actually going to be a long rifle category weapon. So this one is going to be you can say colliding, not going to work. So that is definitely something that you guys can just kind of take a look and see if you can run that. The second option that I will say is maybe the wing zero, because the wing zero upon alteration does actually get another 40% trait. So this one is going to be the opposite of, let's say, the second P. So second P has the double 40% trait, while this one offers a 25% ICD and then a 40% trait. I think one of them, which one is it? I believe this one actually offers a 40% if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's this one. I remember one of them actually does offer a 40% boosting. It's not this one, right? Is it? No, it's not this one. It can't be this one. Which one offers a 40%? I forgot. I remember one of them has it. It's not this one. Let me check. Because I know there's another complementary to the wing zero. I remember. Is it this one? Oh, it's probably this one. Yeah, so this one is gonna be your double 40% trade. So obviously this part is not on the roster yet, but I'm talking about like in terms of complementary, because head and then a ranged weapon are gonna be like the best pairing. So if whenever they do decide to drop the lightning Zeta, this part can be a good pickup for sure. But this one is going to be routing you to build a Gundam type centric build. So that is definitely something you can see if you guys can work upon. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I have to say in terms of the overall banner stuff over here. So I think a few selection that I have not mentioned for you guys is you can be looking at the Raphael Gundam as well. The Raphael arm actually does offer another 40% trait, but my only concern about this one is the locking down to only beams. So this is probably not the best option, because only restricting to beam is probably not your best bet. So this is a good option, but not the best one of what we have gotten so far. The next one that we can talk about, I'm just gonna cover that real quick as well. We talked about some other good arms to be running. Definitely gonna be the hot scramble, because there's not gonna be any restriction per se. And then maybe the high new second form. This one does also offer that. So pretty much the same thing. So we currently do have 3 separate arms that has 40% trait, while the high new second form and then the hot scramble are maybe a little bit of a better candidate, just because they have less restriction than the Raphael one over there. So with that being said, that is pretty much going to be in terms of what I will recommend you guys kind of pick up. So yeah, I'll definitely leave those names or the parts in the description below, and then you guys can definitely just kind of look at it yourself. So with that being said, that is pretty much going to be it, and I'll catch you guys all on the next one.